The joke landed like a dropped glass. Relax, my wife slurred, lifting her wine. If I ever cheat, I'll make sure it's with someone hotter. The room exploded with laughter. Someone clapped. Someone whistled. I stood there with a plastic cup sweating in my hand, the music thumping against my ribs, and felt the air drain out of my lungs. She didn't look at me when she said it. She looked at the room, at the approval. I smiled because that's what you do when you don't want to ruin a party. Inside, something folded in on itself and stayed that way. On the drive home, she sang along to the radio, head tipped back, careless and loose. I watched the red lights smear across the windshield and told myself it was just alcohol. A bad joke. A misfire. I told myself I was sensitive. I always did that first, blamed myself for feeling what I felt. But jokes are often truths wearing makeup. In the weeks after, little things began to itch. Missed call, she returned with a bright sorry. That didn't reach her eyes. Her phone flipping face down when I entered a room. New stories about coworkers I'd never heard of before. Names that came up too often. Laughter that felt borrowed. When I asked if something was wrong, she kissed my cheek and said, "Don't make it weird." I tried not to. I tried harder. At night, when I reached for her and she sighed, "Not now," I told myself love had seasons. That desire ebbs. That marriages work. But sometimes when she rolled away, I remembered the joke. The way everyone laughed. The way I didn't. The suspicion crept in quietly. A notification buzzing at midnight. A message preview cut short. I wish we hadn't stopped talking. I didn't open it. I stared at the glow until it dimmed, my reflection warped in the screen. I hated who I was becoming. Someone who counted silences, who measured distance in inches of mattress. The truth arrived on a Tuesday afternoon when she asked me to grab her charger from her bag. It buzzed as I reached in. The screen lit up. A name I didn't recognize. A simple line. "Did last night feel weird to you too?" My hands went cold. I sat on the edge of the couch and waited for my heart to catch up with my body. I told myself there were explanations. I told myself not to go digging. I went digging. The messages weren't graphic. They were intimate. Compliments. Confessions about feeling stuck. About feeling seen. Jokes that echoed her party line. Half serious, half safe. There was no single moment I could point to and say this is where it crossed. It was worse than that. It had crossed quietly and kept going. When I confronted her, I didn't raise my voice. I asked one question. "Is there something you want to tell me?" She sat down like her legs had given up. She said it started as flirting. That it made her feel alive. That the joke at the party was just humor. But her eyes dropped when she said it. She said she didn't think I'd take it seriously. She said she hadn't meant to hurt me. "I didn't cheat," she said quickly. Then after a breath, "I didn't plan to." I believed she hadn't planned it. I also believed plans are often excuses we make after choices. The days that followed were heavy with ghosts. Every memory replayed with a new soundtrack. The laugh I loved now sounded rehearsed. The late nights wore different faces. I wanted to forgive her. I wanted us to rewind to before the joke, before the laughter made me invisible. The turning point came quietly. We were washing dishes, standing too far apart. She said, "I can stop talking to him." The word stop landed wrong. Like a chore. "I don't want to be the thing you give up," I said. "I want to be the thing you choose." She cried. Said she was scared. Said she didn't know how we drifted. I held her while she shook and felt the old reflex kick in. Fix it, smooth it over, be the strong one. Then I remembered the party. The laughter. My stillness. "I need time," I said. It was the first boundary I'd drawn in years. Time gave me clarity. Love doesn't thrive on jokes that cut. Trust doesn't survive on half-truths. I realized I'd been shrinking to keep peace, mistaking endurance for devotion. We didn't explode. We unraveled. Conversations that ended without answers. Apologies that hovered. One morning I packed a bag. She asked if this meant goodbye. "It means I'm listening to myself," I said. Walking away hurt. Staying would have hollowed me out. Sometimes the loudest betrayal isn't an affair. It's the moment you realize your pain became entertainment. I didn't laugh that night. And eventually I stopped pretending it was funny.